So we've got BTC floating around 96K, but we've seen a lot of these altcoins are sitting in major danger zones. They are at high time frame, major resistance areas. Is this time for these alts to start falling over, or is there one more pump on the way? So today, guys, we're talking about all these altcoins. I'm going to give you my altcoin trading plan. I've also got Chaos in the house. He's here with all his indicated things. He's going to tell us what he is seeing out there as well. So we got lots to talk about here on a Monday. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. This is Crypto Live. Don't forget, this is our brand new channel, Crypto Live Group. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Now, from tomorrow, you're going to see Run and Kyle on this channel, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And me and Sheldon are going straight back. I'm going back to Banter. Plus, Sheldon's going to be back on the main channel. So excuse the ping pong at the moment. Just bear with us. But tomorrow, I am back on Banter Plus. Okay, let's get into it. There's Chaos. You know the man, the indicator man. He's going to tell us what he sees out there. He uses all his gadgets and all those things, so he's coming in hot. Rainbow Ray, no rainbows yet today, but Ray, long or short? Long or short, bro?
Maybe long soon.
Maybe long soon. Okay, well, I tell you what, I longed Bitcoin about 45 minutes ago. Okay, I'm going to talk to you guys through that one as well, and just longed it off a nice little region. So hopefully Ray approves with that move. And I mean, fuck me, sand is still cooking. Now, you guys will note, Lido, look at that thing. Look at Uni. Look at some of these ETH players. Aave is up as well. So we've just seen a major ETH resurgence. Now, we had the market falling over quite hard. We had a little pullback there, and then all these ETH plays, Optimism, Arbitrum, they all started bolting off again. So it's showing a lot of strength on the ETH side of things. Look at that, Arbitrum 13%, ETH on its own is 5% up today. Is it ETH season? You know, that is the question. Has this started now with us? I see that's the Hats gang, and Ripple Muncher says the beautiful English. Okay, guys, let's look at BTC. Let's talk why I jumped into a scalp long there. So I just want to show you this current setup. We are sitting on BTC on the 1 hour at the moment, and quite a lot has gone down since the show yesterday. So we had a fake out earlier today. Nice little trend break, trapped in loads of traders there, little breakout, and now we've dumped all the way down on BTC. Thankfully, we haven't been absolutely brutally killed on these altcoins yet. So dominance has held relatively well considering, but where I started laddering into a long was on this EMA 50 on the 4 hour and this anchored VWAP. So this for me is my new support that I'm watching, 95 200. Then we've got our lows a little bit lower down, 94 200. You can see I put a nice yellow box around this one, a yellow circle around this guy. I really like the look of this. This is a high time frame anchored VWAP pool. It's a rising trend. It's 0.5 fib and it's horizontal. So 94 200 is going to be the next level for me, where I'm looking for a play, something like this. Okay, so you can see here's that long that I jumped into earlier. Then we've had a bounce. My stop is sitting at 95 100 currently. So I don't want to give away anything here if we do get a reversal, but playing that VWAP, playing that EMA 50 on the 4 hours. So far, so good. We have held that level for now. So the concerning thing here for me is this EMA 50 on the 4 hour. You can see this thing is pushing up, and this purple line has been support for us for a hell of a long time. So we don't want to have a situation now where we start losing that level. Then things could start turning a little bit more bearish. And then if we take a look at our weekly pivots now that have just been released yesterday, let's just confirm where they are. So yesterday we were looking at projected pivot zones, and you can see we do have support on the weekly pivot all the way down to this 94 200 zone, but we don't want to start losing the weekly pivot. We don't want to start losing that EMA 50 on the 4 hour. Then for me, things start getting a little bit dangerous and a little bit dirty to the downside, and that is when the real move starts on some of these altcoins, I suspect. So levels to confirm here, 94 200, a little bit lower down. Let's go 93K. That is what you need to pay attention to in the next 24 hours. They should give you something if there is some kind of pullback. And then upside, let's just take a look. We can see our highs to the upside. That is our danger zone, 98 600. Okay, that is our highs from earlier today. That is danger zone number one. Then we've got our 99 600, which is our highs from Friday afternoon, and then we can tie that in quite nicely with our liquidation heat map, and you can see we've got a ton of liquidity up here, 99 200 up to about 101,000. So I still fancy the idea of a push to the upside. I still fancy the idea of a pump to over 100K before they come and end us. I think this is a test move on the parts of the market makers. I'd like to see a little bit more upside here on BTC before they come and annihilate the market. And then just downside liquidation heat map, 94,500. Nice little area there. And you'll see a lot of guys putting stops just under that wick that you've just seen. So that is now our hot zone to the downside. And let's get into some of the action. Now, you'll remember this yesterday. And we asked the question, is that the local top? So we still don't have our 100K. So Peter Schiff is actually cooking. He's saying, keep dreaming. Bitcoin is never going to hit 100K. This was a post from 2019. I spoke about this one last night, but now he's still actually in control here because we haven't hit our 100K yet. So that is pretty interesting. And here's a nice little clip of BTC right now trying to hit 100K. I mean, this is a thing of beauty. Every time we get there, hang on. Give it another go. Come, let's go this afternoon. Let's try it 100K now. Let's go. Here comes 100K, bro. Look, there it is. There's 100K. There's 100K. Sorry, SOS for you. SOS for you. And that is basically what is going down at the moment in the market. So lots of pressure here. Is there going to be a major celebration? Is everybody trying to short 100K? Are they just going to pump us straight through? So that is something we need to watch very closely. And Dara Sensei says we need to invalidate Peter. Peter, you know who else wants to get invalidated? I've seen Ansem posted that he's shorting ETH. Okay, we're going to talk about ETH now because he's openly shorting ETH now. Maybe some of the guys want to come and validate him there and see if they can pump it out of it. So here's Jesse Cohen. He's talking about what's going on this week. Now, I'm interested to hear Chaos's and Ray's views. I'll tell you why. I suspect Black Friday sale is going to be a Black Friday disaster on the crypto markets. Okay, that is my current opinion. I think if we get any news this week, it's going to be for selling. Then I think there's going to be Black Friday selling of crypto, and maybe it's to buy Black Friday things, or maybe coincidentally we do get these Black Friday moves. Do you remember last Black Friday? I think we had some downside.
It's also
actually I was going through the data.
Go on, man.
Past 4 years, and even the last halving cycle, we also dropped like 15% on this week.
Nice.
Last year we dropped 4%. So you can say we've already dropped the 4%, right?
Okay, so Chaos.
Well,
Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, well, there's Thanksgiving. The markets will be shut for a period of time. I think we're going to get a chance to actually get some early Christmas presents in,
Okay, so discounts. Are you calling discounts?
I am.
Look, I suspect if we're going to get a dump this week, it's going to be towards the end of the week and they're going to end us properly. They're going to end us nicely. Okay, so guys, that is why today, partly what we're talking about today is a couple of head shorts that we need to be looking at. We need to pay attention now. We're either going to be in a situation where we're taking our foot off the gas with the longs. We can still look for longs. We can still play the breakouts. We do these things. We're just doing it on a smaller scale now. These things are hot. Chaos is going to come and show you that some of these indicators are overcooked as well. They are screaming at us in certain directions, mostly that they want to head down, and we need to just play it safe and play it carefully. So we're looking at TP zones. We're looking at getting some cash ready in case we get a pullback, and then just slowing things down a little bit, especially on the long. So the fifth man says 30% off altcoins minimum. I concur. I think we are going to get that at some point. So let's just finish here. Jesse Cohen, what is happening this week? PCE inflation, Fed FOMC minutes hold keys to the market's direction this week. Now, expectations for December rate cut have gone down, with the likelihood now only at 54%. Okay, 85% was a week earlier. Now the market is saying, okay, 54% odds that we are going to get that rate cut. So interesting things happening. Then there is some earnings coming out this week, but it's not major sort of crypto catalyst earnings like Nvidia and Apple and those types of things. So there is stuff going down, but not that exciting from that perspective. And then bar chart. Now we've seen the story before, but he said tech stocks are outperforming the S&P by the largest margin since the peak of the dot-com bubble. And we've seen these types of things before. Should we be afraid? I don't know. Okay, we see this all the time. But what we need to watch right now is what is Brothers Carpet Cleaning telling us here? What did he say? I'll clean your carpets for free, bro. Which ones, bro? Which carpets do you want to come and clean? Okay, so extreme greed. We are still at extreme greed on the fear and greed index. That is still something to pay attention to. Thankfully, it is a little bit lower than it was. It hit 92, I think it was on the weekend. It was getting proper messy there on the weekend. But let's take a look here, everybody. This is BTC on the 3-day, and we can argue two things. Okay, number one, we can't argue that Bitcoin cannot go up to 113 before this pulls back, and we cannot argue against the fact that 72,500 is a beautiful bull zone for a dip for BTC before things continue again. So these are just the facts on the table here. If you take a look at this chart, whatever time frame you're watching, if this was a 15-minute chart, you would say easy little retest coming, then we go long, even a little dip under that little range before we go long. So 72.5 is still on the table for me on BTC. And like I was saying yesterday, if we do get some kind of slow bleed now leading into December, maybe we get a quiet, say 6 weeks in crypto after all the hype that we've just had, we could easily just see a situation where we just do this and start ticking down. And this could take a couple of weeks to play out before we get a move. But look out, altcoins. These altcoins are going to feel some deep burn. I can tell you that now. So make sure if you've been making money, make sure you are taking profits, make sure you are banking dollars, because the party ends just as quickly as it started, and they come back and they end you just as fast as they pumped you up. In fact, even faster. They'll end you like a rocket ship. And then here comes S&P.
Hold on. But how do you not get ended? How do you not get ended? Step one,
you hit the like and
watch the
subscribe.
show, and you hit the like. And then you follow the next steps, which is you watch the show daily, and you practice risk management.
Correct, sir.
Follow the trades, and
there
then you join
go.
Sniper Club.
There you go. ARA, he knows the drill. Okay, let's talk the S&P 500. You can see what's going on here. Look at this. Horizontals in play. Bang. Okay. And all-time high. Was that a touch on all-time high again with a rejection? So 6,017 looks like a rejection area there for us on the S&P. Is this the start of our double top? Now, this is something to watch. Now, this is a potential step in the wrong direction for the S&P leading into the end of the week. Thanksgiving, holidays, all these things, Fed meeting. Do we start drifting lower? So S&P, watching that one closely. Okay, there's BTC. No changes on that guy. And we are good. So far, so good on BTC. Now, let's get into the juice. Look at dominance. This is dominance on the 4 hour. This has been dropping all day. And you can see we had that little sell-off on BTC earlier. And dominance really floated around beautifully, saving the alts for now. Okay, we did see incredible strength on that on ETH, on that recovery move there as well. And ETH BTC actually turning green now on the monthly. So earlier today, this one was red. So now we can see ETH is starting to catch up on the monthly. So the signs are there on each side that things are going down. Now, here's the tweet that Ansem dropped earlier today. 523,000 views. And he says, I shorted ETH. Okay. And this guy says, prepared to get liquidated. But we'll call it invalidated here. And let's see if he's going to get pumped out of the equation. And then Martin is saying ETH is a leverage-driven pump at the moment. ETH's price surge is being fueled by leverage positions, indicating heightened risk in the market. The scenario often presents a strong short-term shorting opportunity, provided it's approached with careful risk management. Okay, how's that? Okay, for things teeing up potentially a little bit bearish. And then here's ETH at the moment. How much of ETH is staked? 28.3% of ETH supply is currently staked. I mean, that is pretty bullish. Okay. 28% of all the supply of a token is staked. Okay. They can't sell it. They can't do anything with it. Limiting supply versus demand. That sounds relatively bullish for us. And here's my ETH situation. So I haven't been able to add to this guy yet. We are looking for either a push higher and the pullback, or we are looking for a pullback from here. And this is where we are going to be adding to ETH. So let me take you through the ETH chart quickly, just to explain my thinking behind this. You can see, and this is going to come across now on all of these altcoins today. So many altcoins are sitting at major resistance zones. These are major bear zones. These are take profit zones. These are short zones. Ultimately, they can be bull zones if we are trading breakouts in these zones. But what I want to say again, careful. These are hot zones here for us. These are the wrong side at the moment that we want to be on. So ETH, you can see we're sitting at 3,550. That is our danger zone. What do I want to see? I want this hard push on ETH, then our rejection, then I'm adding to that ETH position back at that 3,400 zone. So that is where I'm comfortable to add to that position after a nice pullback, after a pump, or alternatively 3,000 and 2,780. That is where I'm building my ETH position. Those three zones are where I'm looking to add to ETH at the moment. And let's see. And the fifth man says Ansem does not have the answer. He's witty. The man has got jokes. The man has got jokes today. The man's got jokes. Okay, so that ETH, that's a wrap on ETH. Let's talk optimism. So this thing also, beautiful recovery now after that pullback. And I think it's important that we focus still on one or two of these ETH plays while this move is carrying on with ETH. So optimism, again, nice push for us today. Back into horizontals, back into our pain zone here at the rejection band. But Is there a ticket coming for optimism? So we're going to bring on Chaos in a second. We're going to talk some of these alts. We're going to talk why he's thinking some of them are hot at the moment. But right now you can see the drill. This is a rejection zone, just like ETH is at the moment. Can we, or are we going to get triggered to move back to our support to the downside? So guys, I want to just reiterate here, if you get a pullback here, there's an opportunity coming on optimism, 1.94. Put your alarms on TradingView. If the market falls over this week, that is going to be your first buy zone, 1.94. Then a little bit lower, you can look at anything from 185 to 169. These are going to be your hot zones where you can look to accumulate. So look out. If the market falls over, be prepared for major levels to the downside. And remember, if Bitcoin dumps 10%, these alts can easily do 15 to 20%. Look at that, 16% to that first zone, 1.94, and then 25% to our 1.7. And these dumps typically happen quickly and they recover very quickly. So if you got spot bags and things like that, you're looking to buy spot, these are where you're looking to have DCA limit orders ready if there is a sharp and a quick sell-off on the market. Now, how do we cater for the thirsty bulls? Okay, what do we do for the bulls that think the market can push on a little bit higher? Let's see what they're saying here in the poll. So I said, are these alts in danger? Yes, 69% said there's a pullback. Not yet, needs to pump. 31%, guys, that's pretty bullish. 31% only think it needs to pump. I think we get a squeeze. So you concur?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Based on my statistical analysis, only 31% are bearish at the moment. I don't know.
I feel like they reset the RSIs on like a range, like just we consolidate. We don't even dump.
Nice. AI is looking very intelligent today, especially with his glasses on there at the moment. I'm loving that. Okay, let's go. Let's talk. Let's talk optimism on a lower time frame now. Let's look at the degen setup here for us, and you can see what's going on. So we had that nice little pullback today, and I just want to indicate the power of these hot zones again to you and how they come into play. Look at this. We had this meltdown earlier today. What did we hit? 618 fib. What did we hit? Anchored VWAP, bang, bang, and horizontals. Okay, so a little rocket ship off there. If you are looking for a play on optimism, if you want to play this move, in fact, we might have to have a little go here. A little optimism play. Okay, if we want to play this breakout. Chaos, can you check on the 1 hour time frame?
Sure.
What optimism looks like on your magical things? I think we might need to have a little whirl here and try to trade a little breakout here. Okay, let's see.
Do that.
We're going to see if we can trade a horizontal breakout here live. Okay, let's see what you got here. Can I bring your screen?
Yeah, sure, man. I was just looking at on the 12 hour, just super quickly for an overview. This coin has absolutely respected this top zone and this bottom zone for a range for the longest time. We've obviously had this midpoint of control. Now that we've broken out of it, obviously on the 12 hour, we had a beautiful trade here. Lovely gains. The RSI super topped. We're getting ready for a pullback. Okay, so if we just drop down, that was the 12 hour.
Oh, okay.
So that's the 12. So if we now come to the 1 hour real quick. Okay, let's take a look at
the scalp trade here. That's what I want to ask.
See.
Are we going to get a pop?
So what I would say to you at the moment is it's not entirely clear. We got a buy signal here. We got a TP. Now bear in mind this is only the 1 hour. That was still roughly a 5% move. So on a 10x, that's 50% move. It's a great trade. What we've got here is another rebuy opportunity. This is using MDX Algo, by the way, guys. We've got Algo Master, we've got Trend Master that we use, and we've got Wave Master. These are absolutely incredible, certainly on the longer time frames, of giving us absolutely huge trades, 40% on a 1x, just like that. So it's massive. But listen, deal on the 1 hour. So the thing is, we got one trade. Okay, that was 5%. We got a TP. We've gone back in again. This is probably another 5%. What I would say to you is just wait for this candle to print. And the reason I'm saying that is it's actually given us a reversal on the RSI on Wavemaster. And if you look, we just printed a brand new candle because it's exactly the hour now. So what's just happened is it's just printed one more. Now this is quite flat. It's neither up nor down. The cash flow has peaked, slightly coming down. I would be honest with you, I'd rather wait and see what this new candle does just for the next half an hour or so, because you might see that and then you might get the opportunity for the next 5%. So I wouldn't want you to front run it.
Okay, so let's get out my chart here. Let me just tell you what I'm looking at. So potential short-term scalp here now. What we've seen a break out of a horizontal range. Okay, nice little break here. If we come back and revisit, we need the bulls to step in. We don't want them to wait too long. So if they are going to step in, for me, it's 2.28. That type of region, that is where I want to see this lift off here. So looking at this zone, 2.28, if we get a move here, then you get a super tight stop as well, easy invalidation. Looking for that bounce there. I'm just looking for that little move that could give us some momentum there to the upside. So Ray, can you just keep an eye on this for me? 2.28. Let's watch that area there. Let's see if we get a little move into that zone, and then maybe we're going to get one more pump out of optimism. 30% is the dream move, and 11% is the medium-sized move that we could potentially be looking for there. Okay, so Ray, keep us posted. 2.28. In fact, let's get our alarms on here.
Nice. I've just done it as well. My alarm's on.
Okay, let's see. So we can see if we're going to get a move into that zone. Okay, let's keep our eyes on that. And then update on Arbitrum now, obviously, absolute banger. So I just want to touch this one on the weekly, and all systems go. Yes, sir.
Banger. That was a banger trade from yesterday. Amazing.
Absolute banger. And look, I just want to update where we are. We're not going into the lower time frame, but what we've got here, big support here, Arbitrum, no changes, 78. 78 is your main support you want to watch for now. And then upside target again, no changes here. Upside target 1.255. How do we get there? Could easily be a little pullback, then a push up into that zone. But 1.25 is still our target there. Okay, let's go Bitfunded. So I did have a scalp ETH trade in here. Yes, it is still alive. Okay, haven't been ended just yet. So yesterday we had Link on Bitfunded, and we had ETH. Link absolutely ripped, closed that trade at resistance. ETH eventually reversed, stopped me out. I re-entered on this thing. So now this thing is cooking again. My current stop is 2.04. Now remember, Bitfunded gives you a demo account. This is a demo account that they give you, and what you need to do is you buy an account from them. You send them $79 or $100. Then they give you a 5K or 10K account or more if you send them more. And what you do is you get 8%, then you get 5%. Then they give you real money that you could trade with, and you keep 80 to 90% of the profit. So here is the current Bitfunded situation. That is the trade I'm in at the moment, and we're going to see how this goes. Now, remember, all these exchanges, everything I talk about is sitting under the show description, including MDX, Algo, and all the indicators, as well as Prime XBT, ZoomX, Bitfunded. Everything is here for you guys underneath the show description. So anything you hear us talking about, if you're wondering what it is, take a look there in the show description below and take advantage. And I believe there's quite a big Bitfunded offer at the moment for Black Friday as well. They are running a new offer here for you guys. Let's just find this one. Let's find it. There it is. Win a 5-day all expenses paid trip to Dubai this December. Okay, use the link to get a new Bitfunded trading challenge and get a chance to meet 𝗙𝗘𝗟𝗍𝗪 in Dubai. Okay, there you go, guys. So that is what's going on there with Bitfunded for you at the moment. Okay, so that is that there on ETH. Let's see if that's going to hold. We can see this thing is falling over a bit here, and the stop is 2.04. Now let's take a look at this ETH chart. And again, focusing on a couple of these ETH plays because of the strength we have seen. Now, ETH has done very similar to Optimism. Look at that. We've popped through our horizontal, and now we just want to see this type of pullback hold. Now, we want to ideally print a higher low here and hold this type of level. So for me, 2.12, 2.13, that type of zone could be a nice little area for us. And then ultimately, 2.06. We don't want to lose 2.06. If we start losing that, then things turn super bearish again for us on ETH. So rising trend in play, 2.06. That is your ultimate low. Don't want to lose that. And then a little bit higher up, we've got our trend that we got to keep our eyes on here. Call it 2.12. That sort of area there for me looks okay. Okay, Chaos, let's talk Solana. And I want to get your thoughts on Sol at the moment as well. And I'm obviously still sitting in this Sol position. And now it's starting to bleed down a little bit. So you can see I've banked $16,000 profit already. I've still got $30,000 in profit at the moment. And my head short, as much as I hate to see it, is actually turning pretty green at the moment. And I'm getting paid to be in a short. Look at that. They're paying me money to sit in a short at the moment. So that is quite pleasing from that perspective. So we're going to use that to push all the way down and see how we go. Okay, so that is the Sol situation. Oh, there's a proper meltdown here, guys.
There is.
It's going to get exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk Sol. Where are you on Sol on the daily time frame? And then I want to see Sol quickly on a 4-hour if you've got.
Okay. I've got the 8-hour as well, no problem. So the daily, man.
Okay. Well, give us what you've been working on,
mate. Check this out. So look, I was just looking at the 8-hour just to give you guys a bit of a view. Obviously, we had a series of buys. There was a buy here. We had a great trade. Then obviously we got a short sell that stopped out. Then we got another good buy. Now what we've got is we've just had a sell print. Now the thing that bothers me is we've just lost this trend line. I say just, it was yesterday. If you go to any time frame at this point, let's say the daily because you asked for it. I mean, look at this. We are right at the top. We're right at the top. We're absolutely overbought. We're just starting to face down. The RSI is facing down. Cash flow has been super positive, and now we're just starting to lose it. Man, honestly, this was the buy, okay? This buy, if you still were in, let's say it was from the middle somewhere, you were still up 40, let's say to here, a 35% move is a huge trade. But honestly, now's the time to be out. You know, your short's going to absolutely print. I would have thought that you'll get one of these, okay, just appearing somewhere in this region. It would line up perfectly with the fact that this really needs to come down now. And then I'd anticipate, I mean, look, listen, it's not out the ordinary to expect to hit this trend line again. That's a big drop, but it's possible.
Ooh, where's that trend line?
That's 160 number? Roughly. I mean, it's
no, man, fuck off.
No, you're huge. Your huge short will be amazing. Really,
I'm gonna get ended, bro. I'm gonna get absolutely ended.
Realistically, you're looking at this level here, 208 to 212, something like that. But it's huge. It's huge.
Okay, so guys, you heard it from Chaos there. This is what the indicators are telling us. Okay, looking a little bit bearish, but we're seeing this across the board. This is not picking on Solana. All of these altcoins look like they are in trouble on the daily time frame on these indicators. That is why we're going to focus on some of them today. And then I'm also going to show you an example where GRT looks heavily in trouble on the daily time frame on the indicator, but there's an example where it looked the same a few months back and it pumped another 50%. So we're going to show you all of these scenarios so you guys can take a look. Is optimism hitting our alarm here? Let's go. Okay, let's go.
2.28.
Here's WEX. Let's take it on WEX quickly, and then I'm going to talk you guys through these head shorts that I'm in here on WEX. You can see there's a shit ton going on here at the moment. Lots of head shorts running on WEX, but let's play this bounce long quickly here on WEX. Okay, let's grab that. Okay, and let's run a super tight stop here. Let's go 2.25. Let's go 2.25. 2.23 for fun. Okay.
The man's putting his money where his mouth is, guys. Look at this.
Okay. 2.23. Okay. We're going to go 2.23 there. So what we're looking for here is the bounce. So we visit back in the range on optimism, little visit, and then a pop out of it. That is what I'm looking for. Let's see. Okay. So very tight stop there, guys. A very simple play. Okay. So ETH we covered. Sol. So just to recover where we are on Solana at the moment, let's go. Big level for me, anything down to 200. 200, 205, that is hot zone number 1. And then hot zone number 2 for me, guys, 190. Okay, those levels haven't changed for me. 200 and 190. It's going to be horrific on this trade. I mean, this trade is combined about $100,000. So if we get a 10, 20% move on Sol, it's not going to look pretty. And then the short is only $20,000. So I'm going to use that short to obviously push us down and then use that money to start adding to some potential longs there. So let's see if that carries on playing out for us. Yeah, okay, my average entry is 170, so fuck, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight if we're gonna let this thing start rolling over. Okay, so that is that for Sol. Now degen play, that was obviously the worst case. That was the misery story that Chaos just gave you. In between, what do we know happens? We get major bounces in between all of these moves generally. So even if we bleed out for a week or so, then we get some big recovery bounce. We have a few days, everything's bullish. Then it might roll over again. So it's not the end of the world immediately, but it is something to take note of. So interim degen levels for Sol, you can see we've hit our first level today already, and that was our 786 fib at 235. So that zone has been pinged once. Okay, so ultimately what we want to do is we'd love to print a higher low here at that region and hold this zone. So for me, I'm going to say right now, degens 237 to 234. That is going to be your Sol support you want to pay attention to. If we start going lower, your next bounce zone is going to be 230. Okay, that's your next bounce zone that you're watching. And then after that, we back tomorrow and we're looking at this stuff. We're saying, fuck, guys, there's some entries coming. Because if we start losing that there's going to be some prizes out there in the market. We're going to be getting super cheap things like Phantom, AVAX, Peppy, Brett. We're going to get good deals on all of these things. So right now, 237 to 234 on Sol, followed by 230 is your next bounce zone. So watch that one closely. Now, let's just go through, look at that bounce. So far, so good. Okay, let's go through what I'm doing now at the moment on VX. Okay, let's go. So Optimism, you can see I've just taken that bounce long on Optimism there off that 382. Then we are short CAS at the moment. Now that is a combination of losing the 200-day MA, losing a VWAP, and using MDX algo indicators telling us we could be bearish. So I've started a short. It doesn't mean we can pump a little bit higher before this thing rolls over. I'm just prepping in case we get some downside now on the market. So CAS, I've started my short there. Then Ponky, I had to take another Ponky long. So yesterday, went into Ponky last night on our private live session with Sniper Club. Had a beautiful pump today, added to that position. What happened? Round trip today, stopped at entry, and I jumped back into Ponky. So no real changes from where we were at yesterday's lows on Ponky. That is still the same. Then I've got an injective short running here at the moment. Major hot zone. I'm going to show you that chart. I'm going to tell you why I shorted it. Then I've got a link short running. Same story. Going to show you the chart. Going to tell you why I shorted that area. Myro short. You know that is my Myro head short that I'm running at the moment. Because if you look at the bottom, you can see I'm giga long Myro here in relation to this trading account. Okay, it's actually ridiculous. It's way too big. So now I've got that hedge Myro short running, and then Rune. I'm still in that Rune long. This thing was $1,100 up earlier today. It's now only 200 up. So we're hoping squeaky bum time that some of these can survive. But if not, we are prepped in these shorts. We are ready to go. If they want to send us, we are good to go. Okay, we can ride the stuff down, and we'll play it all the way down there. Okay. Now this was relevant to this Ponky trade for me today. Now I just want to remind you guys about the strategy. So believe in something, but not for too long, or your round trip. Okay. And what happened was I believed in Ponky a little bit too long. So I just want to show you guys my strategy, and I want to remind you about my bull market strategy again. So basically what we're looking at here, there's multiple trading opportunities that are getting presented to us many times a week. Okay. We're getting all these setups that we can use. Now, what I'm doing with some of them is I'm taking profits quickly on some of them where my averages, where my entry is average or not amazing, taking some quick profits. Then there's others like Ponky. If I think I've got a good entry, I want to add to that position and grow it. What is my risk? My risk is doing the round trip on these tokens, but it's a nice bull market strategy, because if the market starts running away from you, which you would have seen now on all of these altcoins, even XRP, Cardano, Phantom, AVAX, everything in the last 5 or 6 days that has been flying. If you had the strategy where you were adding to these trades to grow it, you'd be making multiple X's on your trading account. So that is now my bull market strategy. So I keep 1 or 2 open for a longer period. I add onto them. You guys know I'm running quite a big AVAX position now. That is heavily in profit. Sol heavily in profit. Phantom heavily in profit. ETH heavily in profit, and we are just growing these things as we go. And then in between that, we are taking shorter time frame steps and shorter time frame moves. So make sure you have a balance in play. Don't commit everything to that strategy, because you can round trip, and then you get this one, and then all you've got is a story and no handbag for your wife, and that is the worst. Okay, that's the worst story that you can have. Do you concur, sir?
Maybe. No comment.
So make sure your wife gets something out of your trading. Okay, you gotta make sure. Okay, let's talk Myro. So this is obviously topical because I've been actively trading this Myro, and Chaos told me earlier. What did the indicators tell you about Myro?
I'll show you in a minute. It's just printed a sell. But however,
I thought you were going to say the indicators told you
they're everywhere. They are. So literally all the time zones and everything's giving completely opposing views. Okay. I see you brought my screen up. Do you want me to show you what I mean? Okay, fine.
Yeah, give me some Myro there.
All right, cool. So on the 12-hour, listen, we just got a sell signal, right? Now we've got to bear in mind in a bull market that our sell signal could just be that, and then we go again, or it could be that, and then we get a bigger move. But perversely to this, the RSI is already really low, really low. The cash flow is already really quite negative. But when you flip down to a lower time frame, even just the 8-hour, you've got a sell, you've got this trend line in play, which you would kind of think, well, maybe we'll see that. But then look down here, we already bottomed out. So there's a lot of completely opposing on every time frame, and it's not just the time frames, it's the price action along with the the oscillators as well.
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because all these other tokens have been ripping into resistance. Myro, Popcat, Bonk, all these other things, there's no interest in them at the moment. So they've been quietly doing their business, just selling off, resetting their oscillators. So I suspect there could be a rotation back into them while everything else dumps. These things could start bouncing potentially. But I'm stuck in that Myro trade, and I'm committed now. I'm committed. So where's your levels there? You want to take us to that trend?
Are you long or short?
I'm long Myro,
You are long.
15K, and I'm head short now, 6K.
Okay, so your head short may start to print because you've just got a sell signal. But the thing is, bro, that sell signal may be really short-lived. So you might get a small, I don't know, reclaim potentially of this zone here, which wouldn't be completely unheard of. It's only a small move. It gives this enough time to reverse. You get the yellow dot, which will appear, and then we start to move up. So it might just be that your head short closes after about 6% down. And then you get the bounce. This to me is probably, I mean, if you look, we're making higher highs all the way up, right? So it wouldn't, this makes sense. That makes complete sense. You know, target 17 cents, you know?
Okay. And Bird in the Bush says Myro in madness. Myro is madness. Okay, well, here's my game plan on Myro. Okay, this is why I'm prepared to send this thing to zero. Okay, here's my game plan. We've already hit our hot zone number 1. I picked up limit orders on Myro to add to my long position at 1.07. This is back in the hot zone. Okay, so this is our first hot zone anyway. We're back there, so there's zero panic from that side. Then the next big level for me is 937. That's our 100-day MA. That's our 786. And that for me is where I'm adding to that Myro long position. So if we do dip into that zone, it's another 13-14%. That would be pleasant for me. Okay, so that long will print a little bit. I can close that long there, then buy some more Myro at that level. And if I do buy at that level, it should give me breathing room to sweat down into that zone there, 0.077. So hopefully we'll get, but that will be horrific. I mean, that will be Bitcoin where? Where's Bitcoin if Myro's at 77? Bitcoin must be in the 80s.
Yeah, mid-80s, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be gross, guys. Okay, just be ready. So, Myro traders, if you want to be ready, get your alarms on 937. Watch that 937. Keep your eyes on 937. That is a hot zone there that I'm watching on Myro, and that is my game plan. So you can see there it is in front of you, running a short Myro, 6,700. That is $500 up. My long keeps buying lower. Okay, so I've got a limit order ready to buy this thing lower. And if we push down, we grow a nice size position, and we're relying on the market being kind to us and not absolutely killing us. Okay, if it plays out nicely, we got a 25K Myro position here that's paid for partly by being short. Then we grow this thing and we send this thing to absolute Valhalla, hopefully. Okay, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that is that. Let's go GRT. Now, Chaos, I wanted to show you this thing quickly. So I wanted everyone to see this. So just because these indicators are telling us, you know, these things are heavily overbought and it's very dangerous and whatever, we need to understand all these conditions that we're in. Remember when the market was falling over in August, when we were getting rinsed and we got to a reversal level? Everyone said reversal. We got a 3-4% bounce and then they ended us again. Okay, the same thing happens when the market is incredibly bullish. And I want to show you these indicators here showing heavily overbought conditions, but the pumpage just absolutely continued. So here is GRT in this scenario. And this was us in March this year, March leading into April. Look at that, our heavily overbought indicator telling us danger here, danger. What happened? Massive pump. Okay, then they printed that divergence that we see there, then it fell over. So that is still on the table for me on a lot of these altcoins. If we get momentum and we start pushing through these big horizontal zones, there might be one more push before the market falls over. So that is what I'm trying to cater for now. I'm not trying to be completely short in every single thing here. I'm still looking for some of these breakout longs. I've just taken my foot off the gas and just playing a little bit safer. If we get momentum, we press, we add, and we send these things higher. But right now, you can see the indicators telling us super hot here in this region, and it's tying in with a major horizontal. So that automatically tells us just exercise a bit of caution in the zone. If we do get a situation like we saw in March, then we get that one more pop, and then we are riding something like this GRT into 360. Okay, that is going to be our next upside target. So GRT traders, and I know Chaos has got some views now on the indicator that we want to take a look at. I just want to give you on my simple TA some big levels here. These are your zones now. If the market falls over and we get a meltdown now in the next 24 hours and I'm not live and you can't see me, okay? Mark this thing down, 0.216, 0.216 to 0.218. That is your first hot zone. So if this thing falls over, that is where I'm looking for a bounce. 218. That is the bounce zone there on GRT. Now, if they really want to end you and they want to come harder, you've got massive cover here. 0.183. You've got 50-day MA. You've got anchored VWAP. You've got 618. You've got horizontals. This is an absolute banger here. 0.183. So mark these on your charts here. Any meltdown in the market, be ready. These are where you get your limit orders. These are where you get your rocket moves off these altcoins. So 0.216, 216 to 218, and 0.183 for me. Make sure you know and you are ready for those. If there is a meltdown, that is where you need to be locked and loaded. Chaos, talk to me about GRT, please, sir.
I've got something absolutely spectacular to show you, and I'll keep it really quick. In the Sniper Club, using MDX Algo, which is what this indicator is, guys. I saw somebody else just asked. If you look at this very cool Keltner channel, which runs through below the price action, the very first moment that it started to get properly green was the first signal that something was changing, perhaps a market structure change. Then the second signal was we got a buy. We got an I became interested when we went into this oversold area, and then I became confirmed interested once we got the reversal. Since then, we gave this in club. The guys are up roughly 100%, and that's just on a 1x. We absolutely smashed it. This MDX Algo Master has beyond outperformed the market on this coin. Literally, there are people in club that have paid for 6 months of trading view, 6 months of access to the club, and 6 months of this indicator as well on a single trade that I took them through. So I just want to say again, do not underestimate the power of just one color change and knowing what to look for. And guys, I always show this to you all the time. I'll always be here to show you.
Talk to me about where are we now? Are we falling over? What are
well,
we
listen. So here's the thing, Dill. Look at this green. The green's continuing. All right. So even so that we're in this overbought area, it's just like you said, man. You can drop, you can rise, you can drop, you can rise. Let me just get rid of this 100% profit. The way that I'm playing this, and I've said this in club a few times, as we're riding the waves up, you move your stop loss to there. You move your stop loss to there, you move your stop loss to there. Now we're here. And what will happen is we'll either keep going, which it looks like we will keep going because look, we're just hanging around, or we'll invalidate and we'll go down and then we'll take our profit on the previous stop loss. Such an easy trade, guys. This just makes it so easy. So okay, I haven't checked further up, I'm afraid. Sorry, I'm too busy homing in on that.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's nice. Just to reiterate here where we are with GRT, now I'm going to show you charts that all look the same. This is why these altcoins are in danger. This is why they're in trouble zone. So just again, 618 resistance band, major weekly resistance band here at 265. Okay, so GRT is in trouble at 265 unless we start clearing the zone. So bulls, what you want to see when we start seeing a break of that 618, then we're getting bullish again. Then we're putting our foot down and we're pressing. But right now, we can note that we have rejected at a major weekly zone. And what does that sometimes tell us? Well, quite often, that tells us that you get your start of your downtrend after your first major move. So we might have a situation now we've rejected, then we get another pump, we print a lower high, then we push down into those types of zones, and then we get those moves. So we could be in the midst of this next downtrend now after that first rejection. And then once we pop higher, or if we do pop higher, that system gets invalidated until our next major rejection zone. And our next major rejection zone on GRT is this 36 region. Okay, so right now, you know your resistance, 265, danger zone ahead. Break of that, yeah, then we're getting a little bit more bullish again. And then downside, you know your levels now. I've given you them, and look out for those. Okay, let's go. While we're talking AI stuff, AItech. I know Chaos is a fan of this thing, but these guys are making moves. Okay, they've now launched the debit card, so it's all going down. They were the Uber. They were basically Uber for PCUs or whatever, or GPUs or whatever we call it. And now they've launched their debit card, okay, in partnership with the 𝗡𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗥 HQ. Okay, so these guys are doing tons of things. And they also are part of this NVIDIA program. Okay, so it's all happening here with AItech, and it's actually showing in the price now. We've been talking about this. I mean, you've been calling this one for how long? A year.
Day one. Yeah.
Day one. Okay. So you've been talking about it from here, back there. So there has been pumpage already. I've been talking about it on my show from probably around here. We've been talking about this thing. So when was that? In June, July, earlier this year. And now we've held these lows beautifully on AItech, and it's getting ready for its next push higher. So right now, I just want to cover where we are at the moment. So this is AItech on the weekly, and we are now at our resistance zone. But once we clear that, it opens up our next big move here on AItech. So our next move is going to be 65%, and we've already had now off our support in the last week. We've had an 88% pump, okay, off our lows. Okay, nice little move there, 97% pump. Okay, off our major weekly support. Simple game plan, using weekly support as your buy level, using weekly resistance as your sell level. Okay, now we had our weekly resistance band. The next trade for me, let's break higher, and then we've got a 65% move coming there on AItech. So we just want to clear our resistance band here at 137. If we start clearing that zone, 135 to 137, we start clearing that, then we might be locked in for our next move, and that is 230 is what we're going to look for on AItech. So, look, lots of upside. I don't want to get too excited, but 65% is nice. It's nice.
Very nice.
Okay, guys, we're going to talk about, I've got a few more tokens for you. We're talking AVAX, we're talking a couple others. Then I've got 2 meme coins for you. Okay, stick around. I've got 2 meme coins. One of them is hot topic at the moment, and one of them maybe you don't really know about yet. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that stuff today. So coming in hot. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so there's the Sol situation. So no changes there. You guys know my story there on Sol. Let's talk Phantom. Same situation. Now, I'm glad Chaos is here because we're going to talk about why this thing is rejected. And you can see from my perspective, anyone who's watching the show yesterday, you would have seen I had a preset sell order trigger my short. And I got this Phantom short yesterday, literally at 1.017. Okay, I had a preset short order. The reason being I'd done my homework, like Ray says, do your homework and then get the rewards. I did my homework probably a week ago, 2 weeks ago, identified this zone as a danger zone, as a potential bear zone, and I had a preset sell order in that area, and that triggered that short on Phantom, ridden that thing down now to the 236 fib, where you can see we've now had a bounce. So just to remind everybody why this is a hot zone, anybody who saw this yesterday, this is our major weekly level resistance band on Phantom, 1.03, major weekly resistance. Also, it's our major 786 macro fib pool, major region there, major rejection zone. And then we've got massive order blocks. Look at that, massive order blocks in that region. And if you put all of those together, odds start falling in your favor that you are going to get a reaction in those zones. So that is how we know these things are danger areas for us. And I want to see Chaos's chart now on the 12-hour and the daily, if you've got, as to what your indicators are telling us now on Phantom, and should we be concerned? Should we be concerned soon?
Well, let's see. I think for now you've got some wiggle room. The reason I say that is although we had a listen, look at this trade, right? We got the reversal on the RSI. Cash flow started to go positive. We got the buyer signal. A really lovely move, you know, straight up 35%. Beautiful. At this point, we've still got some room here, okay? Even though this has turned, what you might start to see once again is this. And of course, this pushes higher, you know, like we've spoken about so many times today. So I would anticipate, as long as the news is fine, we kind of hang around in this region. You know, we've got these zones marked out. We might look to go higher. I had a box drawn at about 87. Now, we did start to wick down there, and I thought we might actually come back to the box and I would get another buy. That hasn't happened. So, you know, it's making, what's that? Is that a doji, I think it's called, isn't it? It's a very thin indecision candle either way. So at this point, it could go either way. So I'd be keen to see what happens for the next 12 hours. But the daily as well, you said, right? Hold on.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this thing on the daily, and I mean, this was a major profit-taking zone for us. Pumping into this area is typically your danger zone. I mean, what I do like, I just want to show you my chart here again. What I do like about this Phantom situation as a whole, I mean, this is the daily. Look at this major inverse head and shoulders here. So this tells me there's a lot coming still on Phantom. But what it doesn't tell us is that, you know, we might want to pull back a little bit more first. So just exercising caution here. Anybody trading Phantom, you can see why I've called this major resistance 1.03. So you got trouble ahead. Okay, if you are looking to catch a move on Phantom, how do you do that on the daily time frame? Well, 906, that is your first support. You can see, if I zoom in here, you can see we've already had our reaction on a very simple trading TA situation. Look at that exactly. Look at that. Simple TA. Okay, all I did was pull a fib. That's our 236 fib reaction. That's our super bullish reaction play there. That is why we got that bounce there, and that's typically a TP zone. Okay, if it's falling over, that could be a TP zone. So 0.9067 support 1. Okay, your next major support for Phantom 834, and then your next absolute banger. Now I don't want to see this today or tomorrow. 72. Okay, 72. So your levels are right now today, you can use 9067. If we get more pressure, 80, 83, 8347, and then 72. Okay, those are your downside levels you need to pay attention to on Phantom. If you're going to get longs, it's most likely in those areas. If the market stays bullish, you most likely pick up longs in those zones. Okay, so what could that look like? Again, same as GRT, downtrend. Okay, so we might have that type of situation play out for a week or two. It depends what they have in store for us over December. But we do know we're going to get reactions off those zones. We do know we're going to get trades off those areas. They might just be short-term trades. They might be 7% moves, 10% moves, but we know we're going to get them off those areas. So those are your hot zones for Phantom to the downside. Now, what happens if the market rips? Guys, danger ahead. 1.2, look out. Okay, if the market pumps, 1.2 is a TP zone, especially if you're a high leveraged risk trade. 1.2 is going to be your hot zone. That is going to be your danger zone. That is your TP area. So just play safe up there. Then we got to rush through a couple more here. Here is Injective. On the 3-day, same story, just like you've seen Phantom, GRT, Optimism, all these charts. Look at that rejection zone here ahead of us, 28.8, major resistance for us on Injective. What does this mean for us? Well, as a spot buyer or something along those lines, you sit back and you relax. You say, okay, cool, we've rejected in the zone. Where's my next area? 23.5 for me, Injective 23.5, banger zone, and 21.5. Those are your hot zones for Injective. Hopefully we're going to get a nice move like that. Okay, 23.5, 21.5. Those are your hot zones to the downside. Okay, that you want to be paying attention to. Chaos, let's talk. Oh, here we go. Lower time frame, Injective. Okay, this is the absolute degen play. Now, this is what I want to show you guys. Okay, this was savagery of the highest order. Okay, look at this thing. So this is Injective on the 15 minutes. Okay, let's just actually go back here. I just want to show you guys the situation. Okay, how you can play these hot zones. It's so beautiful playing these areas. But you know, the lower you go or the more you zoom in, the more dangerous it gets for you. Okay, so we saw Injective. What happened here? We got a 15-minute breakout. Then we get a retest. Now we know when we peek at these zones, we can identify our hot zones. And I just want to show you guys. Look at this VWAP here, tied in with a 0.5, tied in with this horizontal. Okay, look at this beautiful area here. Okay, that's a beautiful hot zone. What happens when we drop into that area? Look at that on a 15-minute time frame. Bang. Okay, look at that reaction off that zone there. And I mean, that's an absolute thing of beauty. And this is why I'm saying these hot zones, they can give you short-term trades. I mean, look at this Injective, full reversal back into that zone. So there's a potential another scalp long here in this region at the moment. But look at this bounce that it gave us off that zone. Let's look at the size of this move here. Okay, a little 7.5% in 30 minutes on Injective, little pump, just using that hot zone.
The future doing well.
Are we getting rinsed or are we going up?
Optimism, we're printing. We're printing.
It's been good.
There it is,
bro.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so guys, I mean, again, look at that nice little reaction off that 382. Okay, that's what we want to see. Okay, so let's see if it holds. Okay, you know where your stops are. Let's see if that zone holds for us. Okay, so Injective is now back at the support level. Look, it's a full round trip here. So if you want to have a go on Injective, you can use this thing again, 27.5. It's not going to be as strong as before. Remember that. Your second visit, you know, they're knocking on the door twice. Okay, so maybe it's going to be a little bit weaker here. So look out, use 27.56 as a potential short zone. I mean, as a potential exit zone or support zone that you can watch. 27.56. That's the tightest one you can get. And if this does bleed out a little bit more, 27.1 most likely is going to be your reaction zone on Injective. So look out for that guy. And then Link, quickly, guys, same story as well. Massive rejection area. Okay, look at this thing. Look at our indicator here. Chaos, talk to me about Link, because mine looks wrecked here. I mean, this thing is...
Let me go get it.
So, but exactly, guys, while Chaos gets this out, same principle. Okay, we can see Link has jumped into a major resistance band. Okay, danger zone for altcoins, 19.6 hot zone here. Any pumps here, look out. Okay, that's a trouble zone for me. And then downside on Link, 15.6 is really really the main level that I'd be watching now. I wouldn't look at anything sort of in between that at the moment. Let's see what Chaos has got here for us.
Yeah,
also, lots of pumping.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to bring the screen up.
I've got it.
So I'm on the 8 hour for Link. Obviously, we had a nice buy. There was a beautiful buy that printed. Obviously, with 23% up, which is beautiful. So with Link, obviously, we had a buy, we had a TP. We're showing some signs of exhaustion, and there's actually a reversal that's just printed. So on the slightly lower time frames, because I was on the daily, we've had our good trade. We've had a pullback. We've recovered that immediately. We've obviously broken higher, but we are showing signs here of a pullback. So that's the 8 hour. And then obviously, listen, on the daily, this is a massive trade, bro. Huge trade. Right the way from there. Look at that. And still we're facing up. I would have thought, looking at this, you've still got some upside with Link. Still looks good.
Yeah.
It still looks
so
good.
There's a little bit of room left for Link. So I just want to show you guys, Link traders. We're not trying to bring doom and gloom. Okay. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the doomsdayer and we're going down, we're going to hell. What I'm saying here is, guys, we at major resistance zones on these altcoins, we can trade breakouts. You've just seen that optimism trade that we can try and take, okay? But we're taking our foot off the gas here. We're not aping in, because if the market falls over, you're going to get wrecked, okay? You're going to get absolutely smashed. So you need to be careful, okay? But what we've got here is setups for any downside. You got to be ready. So you're going to be ready now with some of these charts we're giving you. And I want to show you this Link. There could be more in the tank. So this is Link on the 3-day. And there's a picture brewing here for me at the moment. Now, we haven't quite hit our 19.6 for Link, so there could be another push here in the market. So look out, 19.6 is danger. If we do get one more pump out of this thing, 22.6 is the next zone. But look at this. Okay, what if we get an inverse head and shoulders here over the next 6 weeks? What if we get that? Okay, look at that banger there. Okay, so I don't want to write this move off here on Link at 13.5. 13. I don't want to say it's not on the table. Okay, I'm going to save this video clip, because if this happens in January, we're going to bring this video clip up. But there is a possible inverse head and shoulders at play here on Link that we need to pay attention to. But again, you can ride this thing. The market's hot. Okay, I showed you DRT. That thing can still go. So just, you can play these breakouts, foot off the gas. If you get momentum, like you've probably experienced this weekend, I'm sure a lot of you traded Cardano, AVAX, Phantom, all the pumpers this weekend, Sand, Mana, all of those things. The minute you get momentum, you can add to those trades. You can grow your size super quickly. But what I'm saying is, when you're starting positions now, foot off the gas, just slow it down a little bit. Don't ape that same size you were aping before. You're just going to get rinsed and rinsed and rinsed. And just play it safe. That's all I want to see out of you guys. Okay, who's ready for meme coins? I got 2 meme coins for you guys coming in hot. Are you ready for meme coins?
Let's go.
You ready for meme coins? Okay, let's go. I see Sigma sending Sui to $2. Ray, you're not ready for memes, bro. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, I posted this. Follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. Okay, new meme coin trader. What happens? Okay, you stand on that rake.
That's
okay,
me. It's me. What's up?
That's Ray at the top. Okay, I'm somewhere in between the bottom and the top. I'd say I'm not bad. Okay, I'm in the middle there. So I'm somewhere between the guy skating on the rake and somewhere at the top. Okay, so look out for that.
I'm the rake. I'm the rake.
Are you the rake? You are actually the rake.
The
okay, well,
rake,
we're going to help guys. We're going to help Chaos. Okay, we're going to help him. If anybody knows what's been going on Pump.fun, okay, these guys, they live streaming their tokens on Pump.fun. It's becoming an absolute dog show at the moment. It's becoming filthy, and there's even people betting that Pump.fun is going to get banned in the States because of the shit that is going down. People are live streaming, they're locking people in cages, they're threatening to shoot dogs, they're doing all this shit if people don't pump their bags. I mean, it's getting actually out of control. I think something bad is going to be happening there. But anyway, that's not the point of this discussion. The point of this discussion is to talk to you about a token that you might have seen in the market in the last week or so. It's the first, I think it's the first meme, or it's one of the first tokens ever. Okay, it's called Lucky Coin, LKY. Okay, Miles was talking about this not too long ago, and we've had a look at this thing. And the theory behind it makes kind of sense to me. So here's a little breakdown from Budul. He says, many don't realize that Lucky isn't just another meme coin pump. Let's break it down. Okay, number one, it's the 22nd ever coin listed on CoinMarketCap. Okay, 2013. Doge is actually a fork of Lucky, which is a fork of Litecoin. Okay, did you know that? Okay,
Yeah.
it's just resumed from its exact last block in 2013 after 11 years. Massive portion of the supply is lost forever due to 11-year hibernation. Okay, so whatever you think the supply is that's out there, it's gone. The guy's dead. You know what I mean? The guy's holding these bags. They've lost their passwords. They don't even, you know what I mean? It's gone. Okay, the fundamentals are insane. Halving every 70 days. Okay, Bitcoin's halving every 4 years. Listed on MEXC. Okay, Solana rapper rumors spreading. Retail loves ancient crypto narratives. I agree. It's the oldest meme coin before Doge. Original Doge predecessor. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Meme coin people. Lucky. Okay, we've been looking at this thing. And here's the lucky chart. Okay, so let this thing fall over. Let it come to you. You get the fundamentals behind this thing. It's obviously been super hyped. Look at the size of this pump. Let it come down. Okay, this for me could be a banger. The 22nd coin ever to be listed on CoinMarketCap. That is something that you can pay attention to. And I wanted to chart this for you guys. This is the 1 hour now on MEXC. Okay, we want to look at a couple of zones. Look, I would say if you get an opportunity down there, I'm not sure if you're going to get it, but that is a hot zone there. So what you want to be looking at here, 8.2, and then you're looking at 4.5. Okay, those are your hot zones there. You want to watch 8.2, 4.5 on this lucky. It makes sense to me. Okay, if this becomes a vibe, this is a pumper. Luckily, nobody's buying that. Okay, let this thing come down to you. You're already going to get some kind of discount. Let's look at the size of this discount. Okay, you're going to get a 52% Black Friday sale on Lucky Token. Okay, so there it is. Follow this guy, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪. Makes sense to me. I like what he has to say. Let's see if we can get this thing at around about 8.2. Is the market falling over or is Lucky falling over? No, the market's okay. The market's okay.
I'm just looking at this Lucky. I've never even heard of it before. I've just run a price tool from where MDX Algo picked it up 342% ago on a 1x. Imagine that on a 10x. 3,000%.
Okay, here's another one, guys. Here's another one. Okay, interested in this thing? You remember the enemy narrative? Okay, you know this thing? Super Saiyan?
I've got this one. Yeah.
You know the story. Oh, you got this thing. Okay,
I don't know the story, but I'm in it.
Well, this is Goku. These guys are going around. They're making enemies of all of us, basically. I've seen myself here. This is, who's this guy? This is 𝗙𝗟𝗟𝗓. That's Michael 𝗙𝗟𝗓. There's stuff going down. Is he dupes talking about this thing today? What else we got? They're doing the artwork. There's all tons of shit going on here. Look at these guys, okay? And there was one of me. They even put a bull cap on me. There's a cap. They made one with a cap. Okay, I can't find it now. We have to scroll. Anyway, might be a narrative, guys. This old school enemy narrative could be a thing. Okay, so I like this thing. I've been buying this thing, and I've identified some levels here for you guys that could be interesting to me. So right now, it's trading at a $7 million market cap. What I would suggest is rather trade it. Don't trade it on green candles. Look for this thing on sells on any weakness. Okay, so here's Goku. First zone, number 1, 6371. That's a nice zone. Buy it on weakness in that type of region. A little bit lower down, 4.0. Okay, those are the types of zones you want to buy. Buy these things on weakness. Don't buy the hype pumps. Don't buy the big moves. Buy them when they are dropping into nice little zones. I think this is a long-term play. I think it could be a banger if the market picks up on this thing. Enemy game plan. Let's see. Okay, there you go. So there's two meme coin, little meme coin alpha there for you guys. Okay. God, we're running out of time. Guys, I wanted to do GameFi tokens. I wanted to do IMX for you, and I wanted to do Beam. Okay, let's just give it to you guys quickly. Now, I don't have time. We don't have time to chat any longer. I'm going to give you IMX. I'm going to give you Beam. Okay, 2 gaming tokens for you. Let's talk IMX quickly here on the daily. And same as all the other tokens, banging into a resistance band, danger zone, danger zone, danger zone. Okay, we can see that. Major support for IMX for me, 1.51. Major support there. If we get weakness, 1.51. If they really want to end us, 1.32. Those are your hot zones for IMX. Ideally, 1.51 is a bounce zone for me. That's a nice banger area. Lots of upside on IMX. Look at these targets. 2.56 is a big zone for me. So IMX, simple game plan there. Wait for that pullback. 1.5. Love that area. And then let's talk Beam as well. Same story. I'm a big fan of Beam. And this is AVAX gaming token. Okay, so target 30. Love that zone there. And then support 204 down to 185. 204, 185. Any weakness in the market, anything there for me makes sense. Okay, looks like a nice little buy zone. If they do sweat us a bit higher, you can see we got a trend. We do have protection lower down, but for me, look to buy on weakness here. If we get a pullback, could make sense. for you guys. Okay, Chaos, thanks for hanging.
Cheers, bro.
Captain.
Thanks.
Okay, there's the indicator legend. Okay, Raymundo, thank you, sir. See you later.
Let's go.
Okay, everybody, good luck out there. Things are wobbly, less position size, less leverage, TPs, taking profits, the odd scalp trade to the upside, maybe some shorts. You've seen my strategy. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm getting up to. Remember, I'm back tomorrow on Banter Plus. So I'm not on Crypto Live tomorrow. So come find me on Banter Plus. We're doing the same thing every single day. Catch you guys later.
Somebody pray for this optimism trade. Blow the candle.
They're going to spend.